Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for coming. We've got a great turnout, a great attendee list, and I think we've got a great couple of hours together, really, with a subject matter that really focuses on what we're calling the revolution in digital retail media. So I'm really psyched for what's ahead. I'll introduce myself. I'm Roger Berdusco, and CEO of Triad Retail Media, and recently a proud new member of the Zaxxas and WPP family. So thrilled to be here. I've been spending the last 10 years of my career in our company, the last 12 years, working kind of behind the scenes to help large multi-channel retailers and big e-commerce marketplaces to develop successful advertising businesses. And now 12 years into it, it's really just beginning. And the revolution that's here is what this next 2 hours is all about. So my job is to set the stage, and I'll do that briefly, and then we'll dive into the content. I think it's really fitting that it's here at CES that we're talking about this topic of a digital media revolution, because CES is where we all come, right, to find out what's new and what's going to be the game changers. And literally thousands of booths and exhibits, and every year there seems to be one or two things that really break out of the pack and change the game. And something as commonplace and as a refrigerator in a home is now connected through the use of technology. The smart refrigerator is going to become another marketing platform. So this convergence of technology and marketing make it really fitting that we're taking on this topic right now. What are the game changers, and could digital media, retail media, be a game changer in advertising? And our contention is yes. And to prepare for this conference, I was intrigued with that notion of, like, what are the game changers in our business, and what have they been historically, and what do we think they might be going forward? So just quickly, I mean, we all know these. I just got out the history book, you know, the launch of mass media and P&G with the soap opera and creating spots for TV commercials, and the creative revolution. And I'm old enough, I've been 30 years in marketing. I remember where I was in 1984 when that famous Apple Macintosh ad debuted, and to really talk about the power and the entertainment value of TV creative. It became a cultural moment. The digital era wasn't even started when I started my marketing career. About 20 years ago was the first web-linked page. Came online. It's still transforming our industry today. And then, of course, the rise of mobile. When we started our company, the smartphone didn't even exist. We were all on all on the flip phones, and smartphones have changed the game. So these are four. Maybe you'd argue they're different, game changers. But in my mind, these are four that have really changed what we do, changed the craft of marketing. And I would contend that we are on the verge and in the midst of the fifth of those big changes, of the big things that will change the game of how advertising and marketing is done. And I think it's a convergence of things. And we've been, and we'll hear a lot about this in the content that's to follow, the incredible rise of data and the insights that flow from that data. I saw an interesting stat the other day, but by 2020, there'll be 30 billion connected devices. Data. There are billions of searches every day on our retail partners' websites. That's data that didn't exist. So our ability through technology now to harness that data and to then leverage it to get insights to drive the creative. And I'm excited for some of the panel discussions. We've got a great company here today that's going to talk about some of the best practices that are starting to emerge in dynamic creative and content. But I think all these three things are going to come together to define the next era. And in our sandbox, which is retail, we find our retail partners and retailers worldwide are embracing these trends and leveraging them to create successful advertising businesses so that brands can connect with shoppers at scale. And that's really the power. And you think about scale, there's tremendous scale. And to a lot of media planners over the years, this has been like the aha, like, wow, that many people are going to retail websites. And on this chart, I combine the Triad reach with Amazon. So just if you go to two parties and you want to play ball, you could get reach that is comparable to any other platform out there and have billions of shopping visits every month. So you're reaching 2 billion shopping visits every month, 1 billion from Triad, 1 billion from Amazon, and that's the game. And you can reach shoppers at scale. Tremendous power. So I think that defines and ushers in a new era of how are brands built at retail? And I think that's an interesting question that we're just at the beginning of trying to answer. Like, what are the right levers to pull to build brands powerfully within the retail sandbox? Because I would contend there are four differentiated advantages to building brands at retail. And some of the content that follows will kind of underlie that. But it's the only place I think you can reach shoppers at scale when they're in a shopping mindset. Second, I think it's the only place you get access to shopper insights through first-party retailer data, because our retail partners, and you'll hear from a couple today, are very protective, and smartly so, of their retail data. So if you want to combine brand data and retail data and third-party data, it has to be within this retail sandbox. One thing that I'm really excited about, because we're learning more and more about how to do it, is the retail-specific creative and content. What kind of creative message works best in a retail environment? And a leading agency said to me recently, that's something that they're studying. Like, why would the same piece of creative that's running on the open web run on a retailer website? It probably shouldn't, because it's a different environment, different mindset. And then last but not least is the power of the analytics on the back end to say what actually works. We know viewability is important, but I think we'd all agree that sales is the ultimate measure of how a campaign should be judged, sales and how it's lifting the regard for that brand. So these are four what I would call differentiators of, in the retail sandbox, new ways to build brands at retail, and we're really excited to pursue it. But what's really striking to me is the rate of change. We talk about this a lot within our companies, that it'd be one thing if we were in the digital media environment. It's another thing if you're in retail, which is transforming. It's another thing, again, if you're in technology, which is continually being disrupted. But when all those things happen at the same time, when you're in retail and you're doing digital media within retail and you're layering on technology, that's changed to the power of 3. And we're really in a period of massive change, which equals huge opportunity for, I think, brands and agencies and their clients. Because one thing that we're seeing, and you're probably seeing it too, is that while change is happening at a super, super fast rate outside in the marketplace, within a lot of the organizations, it's still pretty much, I won't say business as usual, but structured in a way that we've seen it in the past, with silos and great agencies and great people within clients that are working within those silos. What I've heard a lot already this week from the conversations is, how do we connect across silos? And how do we really make sure that we do that in a new way, where we're taking brand data, we're taking retail partner data, we're leveraging a few really world-class technology partners, and then tapping into the power and the creativity and the insights of the digital and shopper AORs, all to serve the shopper, and to serve the shopper in new and unexpected ways. And I think that's what you'll find now in the agenda that's to follow, is putting the shopper first and serving that shopper in new ways within this retail environment. So our agenda, I'm thrilled by the speakers and the content that we have. I'll just build it here all at once. So we'll have Bridget Davies from eBay talking about the marketplace and what the marketplace means, how to connect with shoppers at scale in a marketplace environment. We have Brian's going to lead a terrific panel with cross-channel, cross-device engagement and some of the best practices, things that are actually working right now as we speak. The folks from Wonderment are going to introduce proprietary research, which I'm really excited about. I think it's titled, I Want You to Want Me, which is provocative, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Sir Martin himself will cap the day with leading a panel with our retail partners and a leading brand to talk about how the retail journey is being transformed as we speak. So it's an exciting afternoon. I'm thrilled that you're here, and I'm thrilled to get things started with introducing my business partner, Bridget Davies from eBay, to talk about the marketplace. So thank you.